Welcome back. The Secure Our Borders First bill is being presented to Congress as the toughest border security bill ever. Among its proposals, deploying new technology along the border, new fencing, requiring the Department of Homeland Security to implement a biometric exit system at all ports of entry, and giving Border Patrol agents access to federal lands. Mike McCall is chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. He joins us live from the border town of McAllen, Texas. Sir, good to have you on the program. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Maria.
We went through the headlines. Can you go through some of the specifics of this bill and why you believe this is the answer?
Yeah, well, but let me just say I took a delegation of over 20 members of Congress to San Diego, Tucson, now here in Texas. Behind me is the Rio Grande River. Behind that's Mexico. You probably see the boats that we're using on the river. But we need more assets, and we need more technology. What we've done in Texas that's worked effectively is that what we call a border surge. But the state can only afford to do that for so long. This plan will be a border surge all across the southwest border and also on the maritime as well. In addition, it will provide 100% visibility from the sky so we can see what's happening on the ground. Right now, we don't know what's happening on the ground. If you don't know what's happening, you can't effectively stop it. We have fully fund the National Guard in this bill, as you have said. And we also redeploy assets from theater of war that would have been left over there, redeploy those that have already been paid for by the taxpayer, and put them down here on the southwest border. This is, again, a very tough, strong bill that I believe with a tight timeline, and Congress is leading, telling the department how to do this. And if they don't do it, there are very tough penalties on the political appointees. So we believe this is a measure. It's time. We can't wait any longer. Where I'm standing today is where the 60,000 children crossed last summer of the Rio Grande Valley. They're going to start coming pretty soon if we don't do something soon. And there are so many more threats when it comes to drug cartels and potential terrorists that we really have to stop.
So that's what I really wanted to get at. You said we don't really know what's going on. What do we think is going on? I mean, who's getting in? Are drug traffickers, terrorists? Give us a sense of really what the implications are and why this is so needed.
Well, and that's a great point. The threat, I think, justifies the need, right? Because we don't know what's coming in, because we don't have 100% visibility from the sky. We saw technology in the Tucson sector yesterday called VADAR technology from a UAV that can see 150 miles out and see all the activity with sensor technology to see the illegals where they are, see what they're bringing in. And once we can see that, we can stop it. But, Maria, right now, we really don't know what's come into this country. We do know a lot of drugs have come into the country. A lot of human trafficking has come into this country. But as the chairman of Homeland Security, one of the biggest fears I have is that threat, a situation like Paris, the threat of a terrorist crossing this border and coming into the United States.
So the Border Patrol would have greater freedom to patrol federal lands, the Texas National Guard would be fully funded. This plan would fund, guard, and aid Border Patrol. Where does the money come from, Congressman?
Well, the money comes from our emergency wartime spending. In my judgment, there's a war going on down here. It's time to get this thing fixed and done once and for all. You can pay for this with 2 months in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think that's money well spent because, Maria, every time I go home as chairman of Homeland Security in my state, the number one question I get is, when are you going to secure that border? And it's not just my district. It's all across the country that's been impacted in a negative way, economically as well, violence as well. And they want to know when we're going to get this thing done. We have a responsibility and an opportunity now that we have both the House and Senate, I think, to finally get this done once and for all.
So what are you expecting then out of the new Congress? This upcoming week, you've got the House Ways and Means Committee holding a hearing on trade. What's the timing in terms of what you're looking for from Congress?
Well, I passed my bill out of committee last week, and we could have it on the floor as early as next week. And that's our goal right now, is to get it passed. A companion bill has been filed by Senator Cornyn and Ron Johnson, who chairs the Homeland Security Senate Committee. And we're hoping that with that kind of teamwork, Republicans on House and Senate, we can fast track this border security bill, which everybody wants. I mean, if anything, this is a bill to unite rather than divide, and we can fast track this and get it to the president's desk.
All right, we will be watching. Congressman, good to have you on the program today. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria.
We'll see you soon.